Hey everybody, I just wanted to talk a little bit about some changes that are coming into the Magic Kingdom down in at Disney World. And it's not there's been some angst on social media. Of course, anytime there's a change, there's some people that instantly want to jump on the oh my god, how dare you change it. And what they're doing is they're kind of taking Frontierland inside the Magic Kingdom and changing it a bit to kind of include some things from the Cars universe. And this is the Disney official parks blog, and it shows kind of the concept art right here. And what they're doing is they're taking out the Rivers of America, Tom Sawyer Island, and the Liberty Bell, which is the paddle wheel boat, and replacing it with sort of some updated things. But from what the sound of it, if you read through their blog, you see like inside Piston Peak, guests will be able to see and explore a visitor lodge, Ranger HQ, trails, and more, all set within the Disney and Pixar Cars universe. To make sure these buildings fit naturally within the surrounding landscapes, Imagineers are using a style of architecture called parkitecture, which is developed by the National Park Service to create structures that harmonize with the natural environment. And if you think about that for a minute, the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island and the Liberty Bell were kind of say in that same sort of vein, right? So it's nice that they're sort of keeping that retro feel, that retro look, and maybe just changing things up a little bit. And I kind of look forward to seeing this, but those three, it's going to take a while. It's going to take years, right? Because nothing happens fast when you're talking something this big. But I look forward to this. This is kind of neat. I've been to the parks in Florida three times. The ones in California twice, once, twice. And my kids have been there with me every time. I never went as a kid. I've only been there with my kids. Um, they haven't seen this package yet. They haven't seen the stuff that Disney's put out yet, but they're big fans of Cars, so they could. Who knows? We'll see. Uh, Now, I do want to say one thing: is a lot of people saying, "How dare you change this?" Because these are things that like Walt Disney himself worked on. They go back that far, where he had design input on it. But you got to remember, um, Disney himself, Walt Disney, passed away before the Florida parks opened. They were in process, but his brother actually finished them up, which is fine. And the parks are great, and you can really tell the old parts of the park from the new parts of the park. And there's nothing wrong with the new parts, but you can really there's a little extra something to the parts that you could tell Walt himself was involved in. Maybe it's nostalgia on my part, but nostalgia is for something. But those three things: the Rivers of America, Tom Sawyer Island, and Liberty Bell. I mean, they're cool. They were nice, but they weren't really the thing that any of my kids at least walked away from the parks, talking about. They weren't the things that we've on the flight home we've discussed, right? So I don't look at this as a takeaway from the parks. To me, it sounds like a value add. It looks like they're updating some things and maybe changing them for the more modern audience, while still keeping that look and feel of the original stuff, just with some newer things to it. Because honestly, um, Tom Sawyer, those sorts of things aren't necessarily as widely taught or discussed as they once were, and paddle boats aren't really a thing anymore. And you want to keep that history, but you also want to be entertaining, I think this, from the way it looks, is going to kind of sit that bridge of kind of serving both sides of it. It's going to have those updated things with Cars. It's going to have attract kind of the kids of today, and have that sort of retro part that's going to keep honest to its roots. So I look forward to this. It's going to be a while, but we'll track it and see where it goes. But change is part of life, and I think this change is going to be a value add. I look forward to it. And for people that are saying, oh my God, it's going to be terrible, before you say that, take a look at what the finished product is. You can't necessarily pre-hate something like that. So, um, I know that's sort of the society we live in, and it's the internet, and everybody wants to jump on the hate bandwagon on occasion. But the Imagineers, man, sometimes the Imagineers, you never count them out. They've always got a plan. It's always a good plan. You may not agree with it, you may not understand it, but the finished product is usually pretty darn solid. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And I think some of the predisposed, resistance to change is always fun to watch, but not necessarily called for. So I'm looking forward to seeing these updates whenever they're available and whenever we learn more. So I'm going to stay tuned to it. And if you're a Disney fan like I am, more power to you. We'll see you at the parks.